It creates job opportunity for citizens around that project. Secondly, it produces products that can meet the needs of the customers, both local and internationally. We can consider this in terms of service also. So when people get employed, they'll get more income. When they get more income, so they can win their life, they can live better life. They can afford to buy the products they are looking. On the other hand, such mega projects can also generate income to the nation, which will enable the nation to build other mega projects again. So having mega projects will have multiple benefits. If the economy of the nation becomes stronger, so in international trade, in international business, in international politics, the nation will have its say. Others will hear, or others can consult them. So if you are strong, if you are economically strong, so you'll be consulted. Others will come to you. Others will be on your side if you have when you become economically stronger. Just to mention some.
Having mega projects will help a country or a nation to have its say at any stage, provided that these mega projects are well managed and implemented and serving the purpose they are intended for. If you take electric power generation, as you know, our country is vastly very rural, and the rural community has no electric power. Lack of electric power or energy, as you know, leads to manual works and manual applications, only to mention the benefit of electric power.
Well, as you know, the construction of many mega projects started before years, delayed for many years. What were the problems beyond those projects? What was the cause of their delays?
Just to mention some of the possible or potential reasons. One, we can relate one of the reasons to the resource requirement of the project. If the resource requirement of the project is not properly planned for, hopefully delay will occur. When I say resource, it may be financial resource, it may be other technological resource, it can be human resource. So if the project is not properly planned for in terms of resources, it may get delayed. The other thing, if the time schedule for the project is not realistic, again, delay will happen. You can add other mentions. For example, you can relate to the scope of the project. If the scope of the project is not well defined, and if it is led for modification, anytime such kind of request comes, hopefully it will get delayed, because such things will require additional time, it will require additional resource, additional financial resource, you can add other things. And the other thing, for example, the source of resources like financial resource. If you are going to borrow, maybe those who are going to lend you the money may change their mind. Maybe they may get an opportunity somewhere else. You can also relate, in our case, you may relate to the political instabilities. So those who are going to lend their money, they look at their possibility of getting back their money. So they have to lend to those who can bring back that money on a timely basis. So the instability in that country will also be another factor that may result in the delay of the project. So the capacity of the people we are employing, the system we are adopting, we can mention a lot of things.
And also, there should be a line between the political ambition and the intention, as well as the objective of the project. If you are just doing the project only to bless some part, and if we assign someone to lead that project who is not capable to run, who is not capable to manage, But we calculated only the political intention of that fellow or that manager. It may lead to hilarity. The other thing is structured corruption in the project activity. It's very dangerous that we have, even our country has witnessed in this mega project activity. There are many people, many leaders whose name is just mentioned with this mega project corruption, who were not taken to law or were not questioned, and the projects are still there. This can also be a problem.
And currently, after the reformist government came to the power, it has been striving to finalize the delayed projects and started the new ones. How do you evaluate it?
As you know, the country is in short of these foreign currencies, so there are attempts, but we have to work a lot. The government has to work a lot so that they will get completed on time and they start to finance themselves and they will serve the intended purpose for which they were designed. So even though the efforts from the government was encouraging, so we have to do a lot. Maybe if we increase the power, if we empower the society so that they can come on the government side, so that we can get the finance locally. And this will have a lot of implication. What I don't know, what I want to say is, if we have empowered economy or if we have empowered society, so we can get the money from them and they will become co-finance of the project. And if they become co-finance, so one, they can feel owners of the project. The ownership feeling will be there with the people, so they can save it, they can protect it. They can, one thing in project is, one very important issue in project is sustainability, and not it is completion only. As Ndalo has already said, maybe for some political reason, you may start a given project, but if it is not based on the need on the ground, when it is completion come, you may report it is completed, but the society the stakeholders' interest may not be there, so they do not protect it. Even though it is completed, it may become a wastage. So empowering the society so that they will become co-owners, financers of the project is very important. So the government has to do a lot with this regard.
The government has to assure or take effective measure in stabilizing the country. At this time, I think it is not such easy to talk about let alone mega project. Even you're going out and getting back is under question. So the government has to sit down with all the concerned parties, either politics or the elites or the abagadas or whoever in the country concerned with this issue, with peace and security issue, has to sit down and settle and stabilize the country. It's after that you can or we can attract investment or foreign direct investment, or maybe in terms of loan or whatever you like. But at this very moment, it's very risky. Next, this project has to be prioritized. There is no priority in this country's mega projects. All are started at the same time. The fertilizer company industry, the sugar industry, the electric power generation industry. So this has to be given priority based on the resources we have, based on the internal political and the economic stability we have. And I think the first issue is stabilizing. Then comes the finance issue. And the government has to take care of external influence too.
If we see many projects, especially factories, are found in Oromia region, but Oromo couldn't benefit from it. What is expected from the government as well as from our community to be benefited from those factories properly?
Oromia has to have its own priority area. What kind of project should come into our region? And how do they benefit the society where they are going to be installed? The government has to work something. And we have to have a system. So if you do not have a system, once the project is launched and when it starts operation, if you are going to say you have to hire only local people, maybe I don't think that may create some kind of problems. On the one hand, for example, you cannot simply say you have to hire the people in that area unless they have the knowledge, the competence. The other thing, what happens if they are going to hire just to satisfy your interest? What do? Maybe they can hire from their surroundings those who can work as security people or as a janitary people or who can work as a daily laborer. That's what we are looking for from the project is coming into the region. So you need to, as I've already said at the very beginning, where are my priorities? What kind of project should I attract to the region? And how can I ensure those projects are benefiting the economy of the region, the people of the region? That is the homework we have from our officials, I hope. On the other hand, as you already said, when it comes to maintaining this security, I don't think it is something we can leave only for the government. The society also have to work on this. It is to my benefit. Maintaining security, maintaining peace is for my benefit. So if I'm going to listen something from someone else, and if I'm going to go with that information or something coming from someone else, maybe from a reliable source, if I'm going to follow that, and if I'm going to strike or if I'm going to damage something, maybe just to remind, there are factories around it, at this in Oromia region. Maybe during the revolt, you know that there are so many factories which were damaged. Maybe one possible reason they may have not. Those factories may not be benefiting the society. But by damaging those factories, we cannot bring the benefit we are looking for. If we protect them, if we safeguard them, if we equip ourselves with the knowledge which the project is coming to the region do need, so I will get employed there. I will protect the factory. I will get benefited. The factory will benefit. The nation will benefit. We have to see in that way. So for minor reason, maybe, as I've already said, because of lack of prioritizing, because of not working on maintaining the interest of the society, people may strike and they may damage the factory. But those people didn't see. Destroying one factory may mean maybe prohibiting 10 other factories not to come into that area. So we have to have a broader view. We have to have a tolerance, I think. So, and we have to evaluate things from different angles. And if we go in what way we benefit, we have to work on that. And the government has to fulfill its roles accordingly by maintaining peace. Maybe if they have to take action when needed, by taking action.
I think his question is also the question of equity, equity and equality, which is not maintained, which is not well managed in this country, and which called Cairo to revolt. All the industries are just installed around Addis, Fimbine. This means those at the very far zonal areas are not benefiting from these industries directly, because the very benefits that we expect from any industrial establishments or any company is first employment opportunity. To get employment opportunity at Dukam or Galan or Sabata is not an easy task for someone to come from Bale or Borana or Hararge. So the government has to, especially the regional government, has to take serious action about this, how to distribute these industries. Of course, the new coming industries, if there is any, according to the local need, as Dr. mentioned.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.